Alright guys, what's going on? It's Bo Million here from Million Reflections, luxury automotive detailing based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We are on the job today and we've officially walked into it. We're in the scenario that most people don't like. Most people, they wouldn't even fathom. They stay away from this type of stuff, but I, loving interiors, will never turn down a challenge, especially when the customer is willing to pay. This customer is definitely paying for what they're getting, and I want to show you today exactly what we're getting into. And right now it might look okay because the camera's looking at me and it's looking straight at the headliner, which I tell you what, is actually in pretty good condition, so we don't even have to worry about that, thank God. But it's the rest of the car that is to be concerned about. Now let me give you a little bit of backup information. I am providing my executive package. That is a wash, clay, sealant. It's a not a family friend, but this is a family who's connected to my family, and so I'm upgrading them from the standard wax to an SIO sealant. I'm sorry, SiO2 sealant. And so that's a little upgrade they're doing. But with that being said, part of that package consists of a leather conditioner. This I'm working on a Honda Odyssey. I don't know what year it is. I think it's a 2016, and it has cloth interior. And so the owner said, look, just go ahead and focus more on the dash and the panels and the door and all that stuff and all the hard surfaces, good vacuum and all that. And when I stepped in, I began to know exactly why he preferred that. So I'm gonna show you what exactly we're dealing with today, and this is gonna be fun. You guys are gonna enjoy this right here. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip the camera around. Biggity bam, bam, bam. How? Just took a picture of myself. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this then. Bam. Look at it. Would you look at it? Just look at it. I don't know if you can accurately see this. Guys, I'm going to have to get gloves for this one. I could write my name here. That's pretty rough. Guys, it's dirt. It's disgusting. But you know what? There's no challenge that is not worth taking. I've actually seen worse than this before, and I think a lot of you who might be watching this have actually seen worse before. There's a lot of dust on the dash, on the steering wheel area, the consoles, and the gauges and whatnot. And this right here, you have the cup holders. I'm actually surprised the cup holders don't look worse than this. I expected myself to get into a much trickier of a situation. So, it's gonna be a challenge, but it's quite simple though. I've shown you guys the process of how to tackle this stuff before. It's very, very simple. As long as you have the right tools, then you are gonna be okay. It's not gonna be a problem. So of course, first thing I'm gonna always do is I'm gonna pull out my it's more of a softer nylon brush, but it's a little stiffer than most brushes out there. And this right here is gonna be used to tackle that first layer of dust. See, already just cleaning that, I automatically am not so intimidated. You got to clean up all these areas, and that is just, it's just flying all over the place. Now, I'm going to recommend, especially on a vehicle of this magnitude, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to want to have a vacuum in your left hand or your non-dominant hand while you're sweeping away with your dominant hand. And obviously I can't do that on camera. I don't have a stand right now, so I can't really do that and show you guys that process. But it's very simple. But you want to sweep away first, because this is just a lot of dirt and dust. This, like I said, I believe it's a 2016. And so if they bought this vehicle brand new and they have not washed it, if they haven't washed it since or gotten it clean since they've purchased it, even if they've only had it for a year, being the end of 2018, that right there in itself goes to show that that's a year's worth of dust, and so that can get very, very there's buildup there, and so you want to get all these areas, just kind of a light swipe. Now, obviously, you cannot demand perfection unless they're paying for perfection. And I'll be honest, this customer is not paying for perfection. They're just paying to get a cleaning. And so I always start off with this brush. Like I said, you want to sweep away all these areas, all that. You want to get in there and, with the dry brush and do that. And then after that, I always, as I've shown you before, I get it's a Chemical Guys. It's not boar's hair. I believe it's just a synthetic blend. But it's a great interior brush, and I love it. And so I just follow up with this, and then I just sweep away any lighter debris. The reason why I take the stiffer one at first is because I don't want this brush. This brush is a more expensive brush. I don't want it to get clogged up with so much dirt and debris and all of that. I'd prefer to go ahead and use it on the lighter areas, or the areas after I've already done a pre-clean. Now, I don't have it on me. I started filming before I grabbed it. Oh man, just look at all that dust. That's rough. But already that looks okay, but you can't leave it like that. You're going to have to follow up with some type of cleaner. If not a protectant, at least a cleaner. Because you definitely want to make sure all the fingerprints are off, because these brushes, as effective as they are, they do not clean up fingerprints. And so I always get, you guys have seen me with these towels before. Nothing special, nothing fancy. If you have those Kirkland microfibers, I don't have a Costco membership, so you know, I haven't found that necessary for my family yet, so I just don't have one. But you know, I go ahead and I put some of my PNS. You've seen this bottle before. My PNS Express Interior Express Cleaner, and I just go ahead. I'm just gonna do what anyone could ever do and just wipe down. And so it's going to clean up the area. I hope I'm not missing. I'm doing this, I'm holding the camera in my hand, and I'm not doing, you know, it's just that the face shot, so I can't even see the screen, or can't even see what the camera's looking at. And so we're cleaning up the area, get the glass as well. I'm gonna have to follow up with the last step. I can either take Bead Maker, or I will take my Chemical Guys Total Interior Cleaner. You've seen me do videos on both of those. I'll probably do Bead Maker just because it's a little bit easier to use. And it's just a good, easy protectant. But that already looks a whole lot better, guys. That is about 80% of the way there. We have not hit 100%, but we're getting there. And so I just want you guys to know that if your car is like this and you are wanting it to get cleaned, of course, I always recommend calling a professional detailer. Look around. There's tons of high quality detailers out there. It's a saturated market. There's got to be someone out there that knows what they're doing, right? You'll be able to find a good quality detailer. But not just that though. But if you want to do it yourself, there are very, very effective ways of doing this. So, for instance, these brushes. You can find brushes like this. You don't have to get these exact brushes, but all you need is this right here, which looks like what? A makeup brush. And this right here, which is a very, very small paintbrush. You can find brushes like this at Home Depot. You can find them at most places that you would expect to see a brush at. And you may not need the PNS Interior Express Cleaner. I always have I have it in an unlabeled bottle, so I can't really show you guys the label, but you don't need that. If you have some simple green, dilute it 10-to-1 and get working, it's going to get the job done. If you have a spray wax, a synthetic spray wax, I recommend the Meguiar's Ultimate Quick Wax. That's a good product. You can use that to follow up, to protect the surfaces and to do that last second cleanup. I mean, there's tons of products out there, and I will get into some reviews about that, but there's so many reviews on the internet. I don't need to do that. The content's already out there. I just want to show you guys that, you know, right here we've got pretty good results here. If I were to leave it like this, the customer would be satisfied. Now, me as a detailer, I'm not satisfied, but the customer is satisfied, mostly because the customer isn't too concerned about the interior. The customer is more concerned about the exterior. And actually, I want to go ahead and show you the exterior for a little bit, because I did a video on it yesterday. What we did is we did a wash clay, like I said, for the executive package. It's a wash clay wax, and I upgraded them to the SiO2 sealant. And if you guys saw my video yesterday on how to ceramic coat a car easily, I talked about the McKee's 37 Hydro Blue, and it's great results. It's very, very slick. It's not grabbing at me. It's still finishing the cure process. Give it another 10 minutes and it'll be fully cured. But it's phenomenal. It looks amazing. The paint is nice and smooth already. Before I finish, I'll be done probably about an hour and a half. Last thing I'm gonna do is just touch up the car real quick with a little bit of Bead Maker. I've never used bead maker as a topper for McKee's 37. I've always just left it as is. But just because, like I said, this is a friend of the family, I'm going to go ahead and even give that little bit of extra to it. Just give it a little bit of extra value. Let them, let our friends know that we do appreciate them and that we're here for them and that we care about them. So, yeah, guys, this is not the most glamorous job out there, but this is why I stay in business, is because I'm not afraid of that. Maybe in a few years, once, I'm getting more work, and I mean, I'm full time, I'm getting work, but, maybe in a few years I'll be able to say, no, I refuse to touch your car and all that. But, I like to think of it like this. I'm not just in the business of cleaning cars. I'm not just in the business of serving people. I am in the business of taking something that is far from its best condition, and it's my job, my duty, my responsibility to restore it back to what it can be at its fullest. I don't want to get too preachy right now. I am a Christian, and so that does influence a lot of my values and my beliefs and my approach in doing a lot of the things I do. But I see Jesus was in that ministry. His death on the cross, his death on Calvary, was to redeem mankind from their fallen nature and to give us an out from, destruction. And I know that sounds a little much for a YouTube detailing video, but what I find passion in is not just the fact that I get to work and provide for my family, and I get to have a flexible schedule, and I get to do ministry, and I get to focus on the things that, my other passions. But I also get to be like Jesus a little bit, and I get to take something that is not in its fullest condition, that may be it may be far off from what it's supposed to be. It may be far off from the pits, and it may look really, really dirty and disgusting, and everyone may be appalled by the outward appearance. But there's potential. And it's my job, my duty, and my obligation to help this vehicle to be restored to its fullest potential, just as we as people, as children of God, are able to be restored to our fullest potential. And so that was my little sermon for the video. But guys, once again, this is not the most glamorous job out there, but you find passion, you find something that keeps you going, and you tackle it, and you go full, head on, you go full force with it. It'll be fun. I'll be done pretty soon. So, yeah, there's not much else to say, right? But once again, guys, Bo Million here from Million Reflections Luxury Automotive Detailing. Just another day in paradise, living the life, making videos, detailing cars, providing for my family, and enjoying life, and really investing in my future, and doing everything I can to be the best I can be. So if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to see, guys, first of all, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be busting out a lot more content pretty soon. I've talked about this the last few videos, but pretty soon I'm going to do a video about kind of my mini bio, where I come from, my detailing experience, and everything that I've done, from the companies I've worked for to different certifications that I have and all that stuff. I recommend certifications. I recommend being, of course, licensed and insured. That's extremely important. But yeah, that being said, guys, if there's any products you'd like for me to review, if you have any questions about processes or anything, just you need a tip, you need something to kind of help you out, and you're curious about, how do I clean windows effectively, as basic as it is, it's still really, really hard to do, and there's a right way and a definite wrong way. Just feel free to leave a comment. Would love if you love this video, give me a like. If you hate the video, give a dislike. Leave a comment below telling me I'm awesome or I'm horrible, or just questions, whatever you guys have. Once again, guys, Bo Million here, Million Reflections Luxury Automotive Detailing, based out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take it easy.